side position to the head scissor position, it's very important to maintain pressure and weight and control over that entire time. So there are some people that will come up high and get their weight off, and that allows the person on the bottom to escape or shift out of position. That being said, if that is your goal, that's another opportunity to possibly have a very heavy ride and then let them up, have them move, and that puts you in a position where you can start getting into a head scissor position. While I'm doing this, I'll turn a little bit this way, I want to make sure I keep a certain amount of pressure inward and I also downward. I don't want to be up here like this. This is people, they do holds and they show it off. You want to keep things tight. It's also good to have some level of control on the arm, whether that's here, whether that's over, whether that's the wrist, because otherwise that's also another way that the person can spin out or exactly try to. So in actuality, I want to make sure that if I'm doing this or if I'm just transitioning here, I'm keeping things tight and heavy on the opponent. As the next here, you really don't want to have too much space if possible. I mean, it's good to kind of keep this all tight. Like now this is a different, because he turned his head so it's a different pressure, and that's okay, because there's obviously things you can do out of here. But in that case, the first one, if I can have this back of the calf moving here and putting him out of alignment. So again, kind of going, moving, he shifts, right here, it's there. And I would frame up, get tight, and I would shift and move my head. There.
Okay, so a couple of things too now. That was a very good demonstration that Brian did, and that would be probably welcome in any grappling tournament that allows neck cranks. But now let's talk about where it's going to be not in a, where it's going to be self-defense, or you're going to really rip this guy. I'm not going to hurt him, but a couple of things that you always want to remember is you're going to want to start getting the flexibility to bring your foot as close to his head as possible. So what I mean is, I don't want to see this kind of stuff where it's like really, really far away. There's a big space. You can see that my hand can fit in there. That's not really good, okay? So stage one is to learn to bring that foot like right here. So it's got to be there. There's no play now. It's tied up against him, all right? That's still gentle. That's still okay if you want to do the head scissor from here. Brian did a spinning head scissor where he came around, but sometimes you want to do it here. The other thing is, I really don't ever want him looking at me, generally like this way, see what's coming. So I'm going to rip him here, okay? Bring that foot there and do my scoop. That's the important part, and then you can get to the finish, however you want. The other thing that you can do, let's get back to, is take your knee, take your shin right across and get him to roll. Now this is going to be an entry. Let's slide back. Slide back this way. This is going to be the entry. This is what I would enter into a crooked head scissor, right, this way, which I don't want to get all the way into, but there would be my crooked head scissor entry. The other point that's sometimes very difficult to pick out, unless it's pointed out to you, is your weight distribution here, okay? Now, I don't want to get into the percentages of 70% forward, 30% in the rear leg. Okay, a lot of that does depend on your structure. But the secret here is you want your weight on the balls of your feet, like this. Look at my feet. My heels are up, off the ground. You don't want to be on your heels, because that itself can throw you off balance, all right? So you want to be on the balls of your feet. Now, if you watch a good fighter, boxer, many times his rear foot is going to come off the ground. That's exaggerated, but it's going to come off the ground when he's throwing a punch, right hand punch, to generate power with the hips. It's not boom like one of these deals. So learning to be light on your feet is critical. Hence, I was always taught, and I've always practiced and fight, where I try to place myself. So instead of taking giant steps, I'm going to get my balance just right, and I'm going to just start placing myself. Okay, you see, I watch my footwork. My footwork is staying pretty much the same. Okay, and I'm, distributing equally, and I'm always trying to be ready to. I don't want to use the term strike as in strike like this even, but just to make my move, whatever it may be. So that's really key.